That's all I know. Chief Rocker said he did if the sign is official. Much love, man. Can a brother get along? I'm going to see you at the bottom, man. See you on Rush Street, homie. I don't really eat meat. Me being soul vegetarian, Khalil Mack. See if I get a sandwich about you. But how can someone who never played against defense? Thanks for chiming in, Chief Rocker. Wanga, what's up, man? That is crazy, man. But you know what? I'm not sure if you were in earlier, Wanga. I blame John Gruden. Welcome to the end of the bench, man. The Wanga is the official bench one. We got mad love for you, bro. Now, if you listen to the show, you if you were listening early, you know that I blame John Gruden about that situation. I do understand that the Raiders at this point are cash poor. The Raiders cannot afford, due to the constraints of the league, the Raiders cannot afford Khalil Mack because they have to put that, like, what was the thing? $60 million signing bonus. You have to put that $60 million in you have to put that $60 million in a trust. The Raiders don't have that type of cash on hand, but John Gruden could have gave that brother a call and worked something out and said, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. He didn't. To hell with him. Peace. I'm out. So, it's not, well, anybody who know me, man, y'all know I'm not dealing with the NFL. I've been an NCAA fan for the last 8 or 9 years, so it's not even difficult for me to walk away. Now, with me saying that, I had a conversation with a friend today, and this is a perfect example of people listening to respond, not listening to understand. Now, in a traditional football week, there are 16 games every week. 32 teams, 16 games. Each game lasts about 3 hours. That means there's 48 hours of football. It's 48 hours of football. It is impossible for a human being to watch 48 hours of football in a 1 to 3 day period. That means you're watching football 24 hours a day. Now, with that being said, when I said, hey man, I'm not watching NFL, that does not mean I'm not going to pay attention to NFL. I host a sports talk podcast. Do you think Chris Berman, do you think Chris Mortensen, do you think Adam Schefter and all those guys watch all the games? Hell no, they don't. They look at highlights, they do some reading, they read Bleacher Report, they read Sports Illustrated, they read the magazines, and they find out what's going on. So when I tell you I'm not watching the NFL, that does not mean in the event that it's time to talk football, I won't be able to have an intelligent conversation with you. That means my leisure time is mine to distribute the way I want. I choose not to distribute it in the direction of the National Football League. I'm still going to get my football fix because when I get off the show tonight, I'm going to take my black behind straight to my TV and watch me some college football. And I'm going to get more than enough football. I'm going to be butt naked honest with y'all. I've watched, in the last 5 years, I've probably watched about 15 to 24 football games. And if anybody who's ever listened to this show over the last 3 years, y'all know I can speak cogently about any team in the league because I do my study and I take this serious. This is a fun situation for me, and it has turned into a cash situation. So please, I do say please, don't insult my intelligence by saying, oh man, how you gonna have a sports talk show and not watch football? The same way you don't really watch football, but you talk about it all the time. Allow me to digress. Now, hold on, I just got somebody say something to me. Say it again. That's all, folks. That's all the folks in the back. Oh, okay. My man's bitch. What's up, Joe? Now, don't forget, y'all, at some point, I'm going to give, in 15 minutes, I'm going to give you my first 4 people on the greatest college football players of all time. Hint, I've mentioned one of their names in the show. Ta-da. But, NFC East. The homie Chief Rocker is gonna be. I just made his. I might get a follow about the brother now, because the NFC East is one of the toughest divisions in all of football. You got the up and down Cowboys, but even though they up and down, they still give you a fight. They got one of the most overrated owners in the history of the league. Jerry Jones stepped out there and said, "Listen to this madness that this clown said." This clown Jerry Jones said, and I quote, I would give God anything. I would give anything to God. I told God, let me win that second Super Bowl, and I'll do anything. And he thinks he hasn't won another Super Bowl simply because you was watching the full game and look at. No comment. I'm not repeating that joke. Shout out to the homie Joe, man. That's an inside joke, y'all. That's the inside joke. That's an inside joke. That's inside. That's an inside joke on Joe. Yeah. But Chief Rocker, you're gonna be happy with me. The pick I have for the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys again. Jerry Jones. Oh yeah, Jerry Jones said he was going to. He would do anything to win another Super Bowl. He would do almost anything. I got two questions. Would you let your players kneel before the national anthem win the Super Bowl? That's the question. Second question, would you back the hell up and let your coaches coach, your GM, and the players play? I doubt it. But with that being said, you got the Philadelphia Eagles who are going to struggle to make the playoffs again this year. I'm not picking them to win this division. We know that Washington Redskins ain't gonna win nothing. They ain't worth 1,000 cookies. So, Chief Rocker, your Giants, I got them picked, baby. I ain't want to say it when you asked me about it, but here it is, man. I got the Giants winning this division, the NFC North. I wrote this list out before the Khalil Mack trade. I got my brother Wanga and Kim Turner. What's up, baby? What's good? Of course not. Tell me who gonna win. Who gonna win, baby? Who gonna win? Talk to your boy. If the Giants think not gonna win, who gonna win? Now, for anybody who been listening to the show for any period of time, you know I picked the Bears to win the NFC North at the beginning of the summer. When they hired that coach, I said the Bears gonna win this division. Now, the Bears are also in a tough division. The NFL is full of parity, but when you got the Detroit baby Thundercats, they are up and down. You got Matthew Stafford. That's what his name should be, Stafford, because he put up big numbers. This is why I've been arguing with people for the last 3 years talking about. Don't tell me about what people average and all those stats, because those stats don't mean anything. All that means is you put up a lot of big numbers, and they could have been for knots. So stop telling me about the stats. But I don't think Kirk Cousins is the man to do it. Between the 20s, Kirk Cousins is Joe Montana. In the red zone, that man is Rex Grossman. I'm sorry. I have zero faith in Kirk Cousins, even though he has Murray. I tell you this, Murray. He got Dalvin Cook, gonna be the comeback player of the year. He has a stout defense and a great coach. He is the difference. It's the trigger man, and he is not the dude who gonna be pulling the trigger. I'm not messing with him. Aaron Rodgers and that crew, they in disarray. They gave Aaron Rodgers money trying to smooth it over. I don't think they're in a good place right now. The defense is shaky. They don't have a whole lot of skilled players. The Bears are being coached under their Andy Reid coaching tree. We're going to talk coaching versus culture in a little while. And but I am picking the Chicago Bears to win the Monsters. I couldn't think of the Monsters of the Midway. I'm picking the Monsters of the Midway to win that division. The Monsters of the Midway to win the division. Again, coaching versus culture. I'll get into that later. I like the coach. The second-year quarterback, he will make mistakes because that's what second-year quarterbacks do, but those will be minimized. They will run the hell out of the ball. Now they got the ability with Khalil Mack and the other guys that they've added to get after the quarterback. You got wide receivers who can make plays. The Chicago Bears are going to be one of those teams that you got to keep an eye on. Now, the NFC South. I'm going with Cam Newton and the Panthers. I know I usually my man Chief Rocker said, "Sir, had to pull over and thank you. G-Man all day." Yeah, that's right, man. I think the G-Man gonna do it, man. I think they're gonna do it. Philadelphia Eagles gonna struggle this year, but I know I usually go through the whole division. I think it's an aberration. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to slip into darkness because I don't think that coach is the guy for Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is going to have a better year, but I just still don't see them doing a whole lot. The New Orleans Saints could potentially be a one-hit wonder. If that defense shows up, they'll be a force to reckon with. But I just don't see this defense showing up again. They're starting off with one of their best players on the suspended list in regards to PD suspension. So that's not gonna really start off for them good. They trying to get Drew Brees to 55 touchdowns away from the all-time record. They're trying to get that for him, so that's gonna throw off their game plan as well. I like Sean Payton, but I just don't think it's there. That's one of the tougher divisions, and this leads the Falcons and the Panthers. The Falcons and the Panthers are a team that they two teams. The Falcons trying to be the first team to play the Super Bowl at the crib, and the Panthers, I think, with the addition of North Turner, and with Cam Newton acclimating himself to that offense, him getting his head busted the other day is a blessing in disguise, because now he's going to slow the hell down and let the offense work for him. And I believe that's going to be the difference. I believe that's going to be the difference in the Carolina Panthers overachieving. They already got the good defense. They got Riverboat Ron taking chances. It's going to be they got Riverboat Ron, and he's going to be doing his damn thing. It's going to be a real interesting race, but I definitely think they're going to edge out the Atlanta, as Deion Sanders used to say back in the day, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the NFC West. This is a unique division. The NFC West is one of those divisions that it seems like everybody's rebuilding. You don't know what's next. Now, the Rams are loaded. The Rams are stacked from top to bottom. They got big-time receivers. They got playmakers. They got Todd Gurley. They got the quarterback who putting them in a situation to whereas you got Todd Gurley putting them in a situation to whereas they can control the clock and they can control a game. But how is all that talent going to mesh? It's a lot of explosive personalities on that team. So I really don't know how to read it. Then you got the Cardinals. Then you got the Rosen one. Now, Zach Rosen, you got Johnson coming back. You got Rosen. You got a rookie coach. And you got a solid defense. That is a mix that could be either combustible in one direction or combustible in another direction. Nobody thinking Sam Bradford gonna last about 3 games and they're gonna either sit him down or he gonna get hurt. The brother don't play a long time. Then the Rosen will come up and we'll see what'll happen. Now with Johnson back and he's gonna be playing for that bread this year, it's gonna be interesting. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on them. In Seattle, Pete Carroll is a very good football coach. You know, Pete Carroll made a couple dumbass decisions in the past, and we don't know what's really going on and how to respect him for that. You know, how look at what's going on. But Pete Carroll, at the end of the day, is a very, very, very good football coach. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, man, get the hell out of here, Pete Carroll. So Russell Wilson is clearly, in my opinion, one of the best quarterbacks in football, and all of football. So when you got one of the best quarterbacks in all of football, you got a running back who broke his leg, who was killing it. You got, it's easier to run block than pass block. And if you got a running quarterback, a good coach, and a good running back, you stand a chance. We're going to see if Pete Carroll was overrated in regards to his abilities, or if he's properly rated, and then we'll move forward. With that being said, I'm going with the Rams. And my two wildcard teams will be the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. With that being said, let me march off a piece of this Supreme Court for those. Again, if you just joined in, the Supreme Court is the top 9 players. It's the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is made of 9 people. I don't do the top 5 dead alive, top 5 MCs, top 10 this, top that. We doing the Supreme Court on the end of the bench. The first 5 people on my end of the bench. Number 9, Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen was one of the most versatile and dynamic backs in the history of all of football. Marcus Allen came in highly touted and helped Mike Rozier win a Heisman Trophy winner as a fullback. His first season started, he rushed for a for 800 yards in 12 games. 800 yards in 12 games, which isn't that impressive. 2 touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns.